don't adjust your what is it? I was gonna say TV sets. Some of you guys might be on TV, but your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, your whatever, don't adjust it. We're coming to you four hosts. You got Robin here in DC, and my lighting, I don't know what's going on, but I'm looking kind of Michael Jackson-esque. And we have in top right square, Miss EJ, coming to us from Oakland,
California. Yay.
Top left, we have Kennedy the Hill, see y'all, coming from Sacramento, California. And then bottom left, we have our fourth host, no one other than the Matthew Nadu. Matthew, he is an influencer. He is an actor, producer, adventurer, badasserer. What else did I leave out? And he's coming from Philly.
I randomly clicked into a chat and I ended up in this room. So I don't know if they tonight. How was I so blessed?
Oh, you were in for a lot of trouble if that's how you got
here. Good luck.
Well, welcome. We are going to dive right in because we have an action-packed conversation planned for you guys today. So we're going to jump right in. And so what's bringing you to the couch today? What are you showing up with? And we'll start with you, EJ.
I'm coming to the couch with a whole lot today. The air is heavy. There is a lot going on, all this COVID madness that is surrounding us, the inability to go home and see my family because of all the madness. And at the end of the day, a tremendous amount of gratitude because I don't have to be here. None of us have to be here, and there's a reason and a purpose why we are here. And so I am claiming joy, huge joy, and saying boo-hoo to all the other foolishness. And so I'm ready to bring it. That's what I'm here with.
All right. Okay. Love it. All right. We're going to go straight to our designated guy, Matthew. Mateo, what is bringing you to the couch today that you randomly just popped into?
Oh man, here's the thing. No, what's bringing me to the couch is just conversations, just real conversations. And to be honest with you, I live in Los Angeles, so I feel like everybody kind of has to tiptoe around conversations, no matter what they are. And I am blessed enough to be able to be back on the East Coast for some family stuff. So, man, we're East Coasters, and we just say it how it is. So I'm excited to have some conversations, some real, authentic conversations. I'm not trying to play game. You know what I mean?
I see what you did there.
Bring it.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, Miss Kennedy, what is bringing you to the couch today?
Well, so, what's bringing me to the couch today is, I'm full of gratitude today. And I guess that's what I'm bringing to the couch. I think, in the midst of all of this loss and despair and everything that's going on, I am aware that in order for me to stay out of that dark place, that depression zone, that place that I don't like to visit, I need to stay in a place of gratitude. And so I'm bringing that to the couch today. I'm grateful for you all. I'm grateful for the opportunity to connect with people about the things that are important to us. I'm super grateful for family and health. Apparently, I am grateful for the discernment that comes from the Holy Spirit and being able to see for myself the things that are real and true. There are so many people who are just jumping on bandwagons and playing games and telling lies, and people believe that, and they're so thirsty right now for information that they're willing to believe anything. And I am so grateful for the discernment that I have. I'm grateful for a God who reigns regardless of who the president might be. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and he is on the throne. And I am grateful for his grace and his mercy. And I'm grateful for the love that he has unleashed inside of me and the power within me and the spirit that he's placed on me in my life. And so I'm going to stay in that space.
Okay. Okay. Y'all are bringing some
I'm
heavy.
gonna join you in that space, by the way.
You're going to join her in that
Well said.
space?
Well said.
Yeah. I'm operating on about a half hour sleep, and that is all. I've been doing so well with my sleep. So that's a me thing right now. And I have been in that hamster wheel of work. You know how you wake up in your day, you had it planned, and then something happens and something else happens. I've had a series of those days, and so today was one of those days. But I've been looking forward to this conversation, just because this is the episode about relationships, and I have to start with a disclaimer around that, and we'll get into that in a second. But I have to start with a disclaimer that we are 4 heterosexual individuals, and we're going to provide our perspectives. That's kind of what we do on the Talk Do Show, provide our perspective. We are not relationship experts, except I'm an expert in my relationships that I have. But just want to put that out there. So, we have a lot of our friends and family who are in same-sex relationships and marriages and that sort of thing. And I want to give a shout out and give that disclaimer that we see you, we recognize you, and please light up that chat for us. But what I'm coming with is I am in a place of gratitude. I love that word. I am thankful. I had a phenomenal session with this individual, and I am garbage with names. His name is Antonio. I don't remember his last name. I'll get that. But he just lit it on fire. He, short story, incarcerated, changed his life, was part of a gang, a Hispanic gang, and he not only changed his life, he changed about 7,000 other gang members' lives.
Wow.
Right? And he also was responsible. His company painted the Black Lives Matter in the plaza out here in DC. So amazing. He just lit my world on fire. So gratitude is definitely one of those things that I'm feeling. So, all right, we're going to jump right in, and let me tee up the topic that I already talked about. So a little bit. So this is the episode about relationships, as I said, past, present, future, and names and dates may have been changed to protect the guilty.
I was going to say they're not innocent,
right?
Right. So I literally could write a book. I have a chapter on. Woo, boy. Anyway, we'll get into all that. So why did we decide to call this episode Game? So let me just start by saying it's not because we're bitter. There's nobody bitter here. All smiles, all gratitude, all joy.
I'm wondering why you said there's nobody bitter here, but you had your hand up as if it's like nobody's bitter here.
There's nobody bitter here. I'm testifying.
Confession is good for the soul. Confession is good for the soul.
I'm testifying. No bitterness. No, I'm a lover of love. So no, definitely no bitterness here. And so regardless if you're single, dating, in a situation, wife, booed up, shacked up, whatever, game is this acknowledgement that that relationships are complicated. And I eventually said that everyone at some point in time has played or is playing or will play some sort of game. And so we will get into all that and more during this episode called Game. So let me start off by, we can't call this game without actually playing a game. So we're going to actually start off and play a game. This is going to be a very different episode. So we're the first game we're going to play. We're going to play maybe 3 games. We'll do the best out of 3. And so our teams are, the winning team is myself and EJ.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
we've heard that before. You should stop trusting polls.
There
You
go,
should get
Nadu.
off the pole. Carry on, winning team.
Yeah. So, EJ, are you ready to play the game?
Net, I stay ready.
Are you ready? Hold on. Let's get ready. Hold please. Hold on.
Me.
Okay, we're gonna get ready here. All right.
They
All
don't
right.
know.
Go ahead, Mama.
I just want to point out my grandmother gets me the same shirt every year.
All right.
It's my lucky stroke.
That's what Granny did.
That's what I'm
That's what
rocking.
Granny did.
Hold on.
Oh, you see what they did? You see this?
I got a little Michael Jackson. reference.
I love y'all so much.
Hold on, EJ, you keep going. I gotta go get something real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, now this
You
is
feel that?
hilarious because
Feel that?
why y'all didn't tell me you were gonna rep Spiritual Boss Chick? I would have threw my shirt on. I mean, after all,
That's
You're
not
part
fair.
of the team, Mama.
We need for you to have some piece of winning.
Yes, ready? So, all right. EJ,
Y'all
ready? Not ready. You ready?
Not yet. I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
Are you guys ready? Wow.
Here we
so
go.
extra.
So for the first game,
Extra.
I'm going to read some words off for taboo, and we're going to put 90 seconds on the clock, and we're going to get this in. So Kennedy, you should have my same cards, right? To make sure that I'm not saying any taboo words.
Oh, trust and believe.
Are we ready?
Trust and believe. I'm checking.
All right, here we go, EJ. And Alexa, put 90 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Wow.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
All right, here we go. First word. Okay, so this is there's a singer. She
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Her last name she is Caucasian. Her last name is she dated that one athlete that rode bikes. Lance Armstrong. She dated him. I don't know her songs. This is also something. Her last name is also the name of an animal that flies in the sky. It's dark skinned.
Bird, eagle, Carrie Eagle.
What type of it?
Oh, bad.
Bird, eagle, rooster, pony.
No, girl, ain't no pony. Oh Lord. Keep going. I am not passing. We are not getting him a point. This is a okay. It's a dark bird. It's what?
Mariah Carey.
No, Lance Armstrong. He dated her.
I don't know.
Can we steal this?
No, we can't. Okay. Oh, I can't pass. I'm not giving him a point. I'd rather just not have any. Oh Lord.
Wait a minute.
No, you don't have to pass this one.
Oh, good Lord.
You guys are
Okay,
like
this
100
is
seconds.
unagi, a type of sushi. It's a animal in the water that
Fish,
is long and
squid,
hairy.
octopus.
Time's up.
Wow. How did we beat that, Kennedy?
Alexa off. Lord, we got 0.
Now
How
that
did
was
we
an
beat that?
interesting
What was the
round.
first one? What was the first one?
Cheryl
Carol
Crow.
Crow.
Yes, thank you. Do you know what the second one was? The sushi?
Not to be confused with Cheryl Rooster.
Or
never made it.
we got
Never
no
made it.
points. That is the first for me, EJ. I'm gonna take
I
my head.
was like, give me something.
I squeeze
Oh
my
my
head.
God.
All right, so next set. I don't know who's guessing on your side.
So I'm giving the clues, and
Okay.
Matthew is guessing.
All right.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna put 90 seconds on the clock.
90 seconds.
EJ,
on
do you have the cards?
when they're-
I can't hear you.
You have the cards to check, Mateo? Okay. All right. Alexa, 90 seconds on the clock.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Go.
Matthew, back in the day, you used to lick this and put it on something to get your message across
This
town.
is not charades. You can't use your hands.
damn.
Robin Inez.
Nope. You cheating. Go.
No, I'm not. Okay. This person is not a nurse.
Doctor.
but she is in the room to help in
Physician's
maternal
assistant. Oh,
situations.
A midwife.
Yes. Oh my God. So this is the cancel culture that happens. You have people on social media who they've decided that they no longer want to be a part of your social media. So they do this to you. Keep going.
Unfollow, delete, ignore, blow up.
If we are compadres and I no longer want to be your compadre, what did I do to you?
Cancel.
So Mark Zuckerberg is the one who created this.
Unfollow.
Yes.
Block.
No.
Don't get it confused.
Time.
That was time. It was defriend.
Did I say defriend?
No, you said everything but that.
All right.
But that's
you
what.
guys want taboo, whatever.
Yes,
We have another game we'll play later. All
Well,
right.
whatever. That was very good.
Let's get into the conversation.
I was
I'm
about
gonna
to ask my 12-year-old or my 15-year-old sister over here. I'm like, how do you use Facebook? She's like, I'm on Snapchat. Oh.
I want to love you so bad. I do.
Yeah.
I want to love you, but I don't.
Right, Kennedy.
Way too old.
Who won that one?
Right.
Who won that round? If you guys had 0, what did we have?
Why are you bringing up old stuff?
We have
Okay.
3-0, which makes us the what? The winner.
Round.
There's
Okay.
another word that starts with W, but we're not going to go there right now. So,
That's over. We're moving on. So back to the conversation of relationships.
conversation at hand.
In this first one, we have moved on. Just like a relationship, y'all bring up old stuff. It's time to move on.
That's why we can't get along.
Pattern, maybe?
It's exactly because of you. Mateo, watch yourself. I want to invite you back. You're not making it easy. Go ahead, Robin.
So, EJ, kick us off on the first segment. We're going to talk about running game.
So, not that I know anything about this at all.
Uh-huh.
However, watch yourself. So, think about running game. And for those of you who don't know colloquialisms, because my daddy's watching, think slang. Think I'm trying to get over. I'm doing something. I'm trying to get over. I'm trying to get the best. It could be I'm cheating on you, whatever it is, but it's something I'm trying to one up, right? So I'm running game on you. I'm trying to get over. So as you think about, why do you think people, especially in relationships, I'm sure not any of you, but I have a feeling you may know a person or two. Why do you think people run game in relationships? And yeah, exactly.
I'll dive into that one, okay?
Go ahead.
Because I peep game.
Okay.
Game recognized game. Okay.
Right.
So I really think that people run game because their own insecurities require them to not be able to be transparent and truthful.
Do you think that's always the reason?
I think it's a huge part of it. I mean, there's never, so I never deal in absolutes, right? It's never always the reason or the entire reason, but it is a huge part of it. And a lot of it comes from their own insecurities and what issues they have. If you decide to run game, I'm not accepting accountability for your bad choices. It is definitely something that you're choosing because of something that's going on within you.
So I want to hear, because you look like you're chomping at the bit, Matt. You're chomping at the bit. Get in on this one.
Did I look like, dude, I had the worst poker face. All right. I semi-agree with, there's an element of truth there. I think definitely in times where I've been hesitant, it's because of, man, sometimes it's just scary to think that, like, oh, if I'm going to be with somebody, like, there's so many people out there. If I'm going to be honest, look at social. Sometimes I can be like, oh man, this girl. And then all of a sudden I just get on and I'm like, well, who's this? And what's this? And what's this sliding? I'm like, oh God, you gotta help me, Lord. But
Don't put the Lord in it now. Come on.
We put Jesus all in it.
It's very tempting. And I think when people run game too, I think it is insecurities in them. And I think that sometimes people bring on things that have happened in the past, like I want to make sure that I have options in case this doesn't work. That is, then you can't go all in what you're doing, and you only have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So the chance of it not running in or it not working is, more of a risk because you're dabbling. But I've always been the guy that I'm doing the suicide when I can get my sodas. When I'm a kid, I got one of every flavor in there.
Yep, the suicide. Only East Coast knows what that means.
On my plushies.
I know what that means. I got
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So do you think it really, is it really just about insecurities and that's what you're bringing? Or is there something else that comes to the table when you think, why would you run game?
I think it's also, I do think that insecurities is a large part about it. So it's a large part in terms of whether it's, Kennedy just went away. It's a large part in terms of whether it's everything that's been said. But I also think there's an insecurity amongst guys, as well as an insecurity amongst women, because both men and women run games. So for example, like with men, you want to make sure that there's also this macho man. I live with guys. I have a lot of guy friends, and I've heard the conversations that they have, me sit in the room, having a conversation with me around, oh yeah, and I got this girl and this girl and this girl. So it's a numbers game, which then probably comes back to this insecurity of feeling comfortable with being in self, right? So comfortable being, because it's not necessarily cool at 18, 19, 21 years old to be with one person, right? It's not always cool. You got to play the game. You got to have all these different women on your arm. That's what gets you into the cool crowd with your crew. And I think probably the same with women. It's in a little bit what Matthew was saying, that I'm the guy that I'm with right now. Yeah, he's cool. But man, there's somebody else that's better. He looks better, has a better car. And a lot of these things I think hopefully people age out of.
But I just wonder how much of that is, so there is one lens, and I get it and I see it, the insecurity piece, but there's also the opportunist, right? I'm doing it because I can. I'm doing it because there's a need that I have. It has nothing to do with I'm insecure or I'm not insecure.
Because I can.
I may need someone put in the chat, I may need a little extra money.
Well, so let me be clear about the insecure, not insecure. So when I say that it is about an insecurity, I don't mean you're an insecure person. I mean, you have an insecurity. You might have an insecurity about someone accepting what you truly want out of a relationship, out of a friendship, out of a partnership. Doesn't make you an insecure person, right? So I have a cousin, and we will not mention their names.
No names.
But she knows who I'm about to talk about.
You have more than one cousin, right?
And I got this cousin, y'all. She is the most secure person in herself that I know, besides moi. And I could just tell you that she will play a game because she is trying to manipulate a situation to get what she wants. And that's going to come from multiple parties, not one. But she knows that they are not going to be down for her game. So there comes the actual game is the lie in the, playing the shell, because it's not, she wants that and she wants this and she wants that. And she doesn't think that can come in the package of a single person. Right. But it wouldn't be running game if she just said, hey, this is what I do. I'm a dater. I'm not down for a relationship. So, if you're cool with that, it's all great. Right. That's not running game. That's being totally honest. But
that could be her game. I think we're defining game as a negative. Your game could be, guess what? This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. Get with it or don't get with it. But hey,
There's
that's my game.
There's
I
that.
have a question. Have you ever
That's
run?
some rules to the game, though. Too. A lot of people don't throw the rule. Like we assume we're hanging out, so I assume we're together, and I assume it's just us two.
Oh,
and I feel like a lot of people dance around that
I
conversation.
think that's some man stuff, Matthew. Because
What's that?
I think that's some male type stuff.
Maybe.
Because well,
I don't speak for all men.
People are different, right? I'm a very direct person, so I don't have a problem with saying what I mean and meaning what I say and getting clarity about what this actually is. I do know that there are a lot of people who will make assumptions about what their situation is, and that too is a game.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just a male thing. I know women don't want to have the conversation for fear of running the guy off, or don't or the guy doesn't want to have the conversation for fear of being pigeon or kind of stuck, and vice versa.
Sure.
But was the question, have I ever run game?
Yeah, it was the one. I heard nobody answered that question. I just want to put out that I asked directly. Nobody answered. Go ahead.
Did I run game? I think I did. I sucked
if you think you did, you did.
No, I was horrible. I'm trying to remember if it was. Would you say?
How strong was my game?
My game was whack. My game was whack. I dated I dated like 5, 6 guys at once, and it was stressful. It was a lot. You remember? It was a lot. I think it was 6 for like maybe 2 weeks. And I was just like, this is too much. This is too much. And it was one that I could take to like a work event, one that I can go shoot pool with, one that I could just kick it with, one I could bring around humans, So it was
Did you have a spreadsheet?
I didn't have, I'm good for making a spreadsheet.
I'm just saying.
But I
got
did.
Your BlackBerry out. Ready? Did you have a pet name?
BlackBerry. Huh?
Like, what's up, babe? Did you just have a pet name? So
Nobody had names.
Nobody
had names. Don't do names.
No.
That's
all. Hey, you.
Okay, so for those gamers, and I do not promote people running game. Don't use names. That's just bad. I don't promote that.
No. I said, did you use a pet name for them?
No, I
get confused.
I just said, hey you.
Hey, you.
My game.
Whenever I get a hey you text, I know exactly what it is. Out of nowhere, hey you. I'm like, there we go.
I'm a relationship girl, so I'm horrible at it. It lasted like 2 weeks. I was stressed. I just don't remember. I think I told everyone that I was dating. I'm just dating. And it was too much. I'm like, how do people do this? Because I know people who do this full time. I've had it done to me, so I don't know how people do it.
It's all in the spreadsheet.
Wait, did you say full time like they're getting a check?
Full-time job right there.
I had this one girlfriend. I don't even know if she's on. I'm not going to use names. This was scary. She dated this guy who was friends with my ex-husband and I, and they dated maybe, I'm going to say 2 years. And so we did a lot of things together. We'd go skiing. We'd do all this kind of stuff together. Fast forward, probably close to the end of the 2 years. I'm in San Francisco. The first time in my life, there was 3 other coworkers. And I'm telling this story without using names about them, but I'm just saying, oh, it was just something weird. She's like, oh my God, I've heard that story. I'm like, really? And so we were talking, and at some point, she's like, well, that was so-and-so, that was so-and-so. I was like, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, he dates my girlfriend. I was like, no, he dates my girlfriend. And it was like, oh, snap.
And the answer to that is yes. Yes, he does.
It was too much. And I just was like, and I try to walk it back because it is not my story to tell. And that's when that was born. I was like, I ain't telling anybody's story ever again. And here I am telling it again.
I love it.
We're gonna get some messages in the messages here. We're like, wait, no, that's my friend.
Exactly.
Wait, he's dating me. What?
Or that's me. That's not my friend. That's me.
But he dated her for 2 years. We were together all the time. There's a part of the circle. And he had a whole other circle with a whole other friends. It was like
That's
that
Game.
movie. Anyway.
No, that wasn't Lifetime. That was Netflix. But I'm going to move us on.
Okay.
I'm going to move us on.
So
game 2.
Drum
roll, please.
Are we going to do game 2? Okay.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for that?
Let's go ahead and do it. Do we have the stuff for it?
Where are we getting the stuff for it, by the way?
Huh?
Adam should have texted you. We got a text. Don't act like you don't know. Get ready, Mateo.
Yeah, I don't.
First of all, his name is Max.
Before we do that,
yeah,
I have a burning question.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone has answered it. The question is, what do you think the biggest sabotage is in relationships? So now we talked about game and how people end up running game on each other and kind of, but what is that part of the sabotage, or what is the greatest sabotage in the relationship?
That's a good question.
I got it. Let me know when you're ready for it.
I'm ready, so go ahead.
I honestly, I think it's people not showing up authentically. So whether it's living in their truth, whether they're being truthful with themselves, their partner, about where they are, what they want, what they're looking for, we all have that. We all have. There's often that dating self that we put in place because I can't show him all that. Yeah. And so I think it's just that lack of being authentic. So that's what I think it is. So that's my answer.
Matthew, what do you think?
I think for me right now, so to the last thing, I know for me, like as I've been getting older, I'm like thinking about like my life partner. So like I've really been starting to like double down on like things I want. And I think sabotaging for me is just being too blunt right now at this point. Like, hey, these are things that I want. And I honestly, I don't want, maybe my game is that I'm too straightforward right now. And this is what I want. And I don't want to like dance around that. So that for me has been what's going on. And I know things that sabotage my past relationships, whether it was me or the other person, is I think that is at that long term. Like we got to a point where it was like a year or two and it's like, well, you got to figure out what you're doing. And just being afraid of that commitment or thinking like, man, like, is this the one? Or did I not say something in the beginning and I've been harboring some of this stuff and it just never came up and it becomes a game breaker or a game ender down the road.
So when you say being too direct, too blunt, do you have an example? Like,
yeah, I'm like, do you want to have my babies? I want kids right now. Like, I want kids. People are like,
there it is.
Let's stick it easy.
I'm not mad at you.
Well,
you know, the thing with that is, how do you know the difference between truth and game? Right? Because a whole bunch will come with that line and that's game 100 overfold. Right? But you're coming forward and it's your truth. But if you come at me and you're saying, I want you to have my babies. Are you down? Is that what you're going to do? I'm looking at you every bit sideways under the sun, like, really? Okay, go on and go somewhere with that. And when I say you look at me saying that, I mean, that was pre-marriage. That's not now. That was then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had the switcheroo. You know, are you looking for a long-term relationship? Are you looking to be married? Oh, I'm looking to be married. Awesome. Mine changed somewhere down the line and he wasn't man enough to say that shifted and then try to pull the whole, I told you that. Oh, that's kind of a critical thing that
I've gotten that.
Not, you know your memory's bad. How is that?
It's in the spreadsheet. You said it.
I would think I'm going to take it a little bit of slight nuance to the what is, what's the biggest saboteur is you're actually afraid you're going to get what it is that you want. So You are like, I want this. I want someone who's ready. I want someone who wants these kids. I want someone who wants to build with me. I want someone who, and that person shows up and you're like, oh, hold on now. There has to be something wrong because I can't possibly get what it is that I wanted.
Oh, we need to unpack that because
I'm just saying. So you're so afraid
that
it's not tangible, those things that you said and you claimed that you wanted. That's what's
that ain't my testimony.
I just leave that with you. Marinate on that.
A whole nother show. I feel like we could do a whole show on unpacking that one statement because I am
what you asked for.
Marinate on that. Marinate.
Has that happened with you, Matthew? Does that resonate with you? Because you had a reaction to that.
I feel like that's been my whole life lately. Like everything that I'm like praying for, I'm like, God, like I really like these things are all just like starting to come. And then I'm like, oh shit, I did not, or excuse my language. What's that? I did not expect all this to land on my plate like this. So you are right, because I've been seeing somebody and it's like I'm trying to like, and the first people are like, well, what is she like? And I'm like, I can't find anything wrong yet. And like that's how I started out. And I'm like, why? Like I'm used to finding like, well, she's great, and I can't find anything wrong in this particular scenario.
That's definitely sabotage right there. You're looking for something wrong. You're looking.
It's just it's awesome. And for me, I gotta learn to slow down in that and be present. But so I feel that right now. That resonates.
You said yet. That's what I hung up. And I've done the same thing. That's why I was like, I haven't found anything wrong. No red flags yet. No red flags yet.
Yeah, that yet'll get you. That yet'll get you.
I would say, it's been a long time since I had to date. I date my husband still to this day, but we've been married now for 15, almost 16 years. And we've been dating for 20 years. So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around, well, what was I thinking at first? And was I thinking to myself, I haven't found anything wrong yet. I know that generally I'm a person who thinks about things in terms of, I want to enjoy the good while it's good. And I don't want to wait or even think about what could go wrong. Because that's going to take away from me being able to enjoy the best part of it. Right. But I also am a firm believer that when you start to date people or when you first get into a relationship, you are not in a relationship with them. You are in a relationship with their representative.
Yeah.
You got that right.
Right. And so I like to enjoy the representative. And when the real person, as you start to uncover the layers and peel back the facade and get to who they really are, I want to have faith that they're not vastly different from the representative, that I can still love what I have in front of me. So I try not to wait for the shoe to drop, so to speak. And I know a lot of people do that. And I do feel like that's one form of self-sabotaging.
So, and just right there, your husband. No, you pushed that. One of the things, and then we probably should move to another segment. I think we should keep with this, and maybe we can we'll fit the game in somewhere else. So one of the things that so the guy that I'm dating now, he's on as well. He said this statement that I think is just so profound. And I wonder if it's gender specific, but he's like, most people, and I think most women, honestly, I know women a little better than men, tend to be focused on the destination and not the journey.
Yes.
And so it's, I have a couple other folks that we have another girlfriend who I was like, oh, why don't you just go out with him? Oh, nobody's asking you to marry him, have his kid. It's just a date.
It's a date.
Why do you got to go through the end of, is this somebody that I'm going to build a life with? It's just a date. Who knows? They might turn into a good friend that actually maybe you end up being with one of their friends. Just go on a date. Stop trying to look at it. A date can be okay. And I'm not promoting that you date friends. I am saying that oftentimes just going
That
out
game backfire.
can be, it's going off my camera. It can be very platonic. You don't have to kiss and hold it. You don't have to just be present and in the moment and be focused on the journey. The guy I'm dating now, we both started with, I ain't dating nobody. I might have lost a bet that I wasn't going to date anybody.
Yeah, well,
we're not bringing up all time.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
A very expensive payout is coming too.
Say it again.
A very expensive payout is coming from that bet you lost.
And I can't wait.
Like
Yeah. Well, I'm laughing a little bit, but not really, because I hear you, and I was like, that's right. It doesn't have to be all that. It doesn't. And by the flip side, I will tell you, the flip side, because I'm that one where it was, well, why am I going to do this and waste my time? If I know and looking at you, this is cool and we can kick it and it's all good. But what I want is this long term. I want my person. And I'm looking at you and I know you will not be my person. Why do I want to set myself up to get caught up? Because I'm the one who's going to get caught up because I started with the lie. I knew you weren't it. I knew what I wanted. I'm sabotaging myself.
Okay, that's fair.
That's like you playing games with yourself. Yeah,
I know. There you go. So speaking of,
they just happen to be the court.
Yeah. So let's move to the next segment, fair game. So Matthew, you wanna kick us off with fair game?
I do. All right. So let me bring up some of these notes here. Hold on, technology. All right, it's a fair game. So we got this notion of what's fair in relationships, like kind of like this like keeping score thing within a relationship. Like you did this, I did that, they did this, and this, like trying to find like this balance here. Is that good or bad? And that could be even like, well, I guess initially, like when you first start off, like, oh, well, I paid for dinner last time. Like, is she gonna pay this time? Or, I got her this something for Christmas. Like, oh man, that was a huge gift or whatever for like the birthday. Like, oh, I wonder what she's gonna like set up and do. Like, is that healthy to be able to do that? And at what point do people start doing that or stop doing that?
Not at all. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you.
Listen closely to me, okay? The thief of joy is comparison.
Say it again.
The thief
to write that down.
Joy is comparison. So if you're sitting
for the people in back,
right. So if you are sitting back, keeping a tally of everything that you've done, number one, I'm going to tell you something about being in a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship requires a friendship. And I know we're going to talk about that later, but when you are truly friends with somebody, you care about their well-being. You care about them being the best them they can possibly be. And you do not sit around and think about, well, I did all this, so you could be great. So now you owe me, you need to do this. That's not what unconditional love looks like. I don't give to you because I'm expecting you to give back. I give to you because that is what I want for you in this lifetime. And so what you choose to do should be aligned to what you want for that person. So you should give freely, love freely, but we should not be taking score and sitting around and talking about the score, because usually that will only come up in a fight. And that will only be divisive, because now you're going, first of all, you're fighting about something that ain't even about what the fight's really about. The fight is not about what you did 5 days ago. It's about what you did right now. So the keeping score, and I'm going to call a flag on the play. I wish I had a flag in here. I'd throw it.
I ain't got one. I retweet all you just said. I think it is a relationship destroyer when you are titting or tatting, keeping score. Either if you're articulating it, God, I hope you're not articulating it, or keeping score in your mind. And it's even things like, honest, in my opinion, I do the dishes all the time. I do this all the time. I think there's probably a different way to bring that up. But when you're keeping score and you are, that puts me against you. And I come from a place, we wearing the same jersey. We wearing the same team, same jersey. The opponent is over there. And so when we start getting in competition, I may have been in a competitive relationship. I'm very competitive, but in my relationships, no, we wear the same jersey all the time. The end.
Reason, season, lifetime. There are people and there are different relationships that you have in your life. And everybody is not meant to be treated and regarded as that lifetime relationship. So if this is a season relationship and you're giving them lifetime benefits, it's a problem, right? So I think when you start that, if you start checking the boxes and you start trying to figure out, oh, I did this and he didn't do this, or I did this and she didn't do this and they didn't, what have you, that's your own internal, that's your checkmate on the inside, which is saying, this person, if I'm doing this, either I don't deserve something that's in here or they don't deserve what I'm giving, but either way, we are not equally yoked. So maybe this is seasonal and it's time to move on.
Seasonal.
So the fair game, like playing fair.
People can recognize that though. I know so many people who can't recognize that. I start hearing people compare and I'm like, dude, you're doing this now. What's that going to be like when you do get married and have a family and 10 years down the road?
Right.
Oof.
You know, the other part that it makes me think about is a lot of this happens in the minds of the individual, not necessarily in conversation with the other party, right? And so you make up a bunch of stuff, right? It's here's what I'm making up in my own mind. I did all of this and you've done nothing. And the other person is thinking the same thing, probably.
Or they're not thinking anything at all.
Or exactly. Or that, right? And so nobody has any time to sit down and kind of talk through what their perspectives are before they've made their mind up. And that is another one of the dangers to doing the comparison game.
Yep.
I also think that it's important for people to learn their spouse, partner, whatever you refer to each other as in the relationship, regardless of if it's a season or if it's a duration, right? Learn their love language, because you may be a person with the love language of doing for someone, and you might be with a person who doesn't have that love language and doesn't understand it. And so the way that you're giving love, you naturally give love the way you'd like to receive it. You don't naturally give it the way that someone else needs it. And that requires for two people to sit down and really talk through, or learn each other enough that they understand what love looks like to the other person. And I think doing that will help people to get out of the comparison mode too.
I think that's a great thing. So the comparison thing could be a killer in a relationship. But besides that, are there other, do ladies have like non-negotiables in a relationship? Like I might really, really feel for you. Like I can't sway on this thing or another. Or do you adapt?
The deal breakers or deal breakers?
Everybody's the same. Like,
my list of non-negotiables has shrunk over the years. I think originally I started with a very, very long list, and then I was like, well, dang, that's a perfect person, and there are no perfect people in the world. And so I might need need to change a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Non-negotiables. Same. My list has shrunk, and actually, I don't even know if I have a list anymore. Honestly.
Oh, man.
I mean, because so when I say when I say the journey and not the destination, and I'm someone who is adventurous and open. Now there, okay, so I don't believe I don't like sharing. You think I was raised as an only child, so I like to be in single relationship, one-on-one. I don't like zone. So one-on-one, man to man, woman to woman, man to woman. That is my jam. I'm not for any kind of zone. So that to me is definitely a non-negotiable. But my point was saying that I don't think I have any, is I'm really trying to be present in a journey and not be like until it's presented. I don't want to go in with I'm not, and until it's presented, and then like, yeah, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. There are a few things, and I get it, the list has shrunk, but there are certain things on my list that are deal breakers. If you tell me you are an atheist,
oh yeah,
that's a fundamental. There's a fundamental disconnect that we can't bridge. I respect you, you do you, that's wonderful. I love you from afar, but we can't be in a relationship because our foundations aren't the same.
Yeah.
When do you introduce those non-negotiables?
Some of them, relatively early. Because the radar goes
on the dating
up.
profile, right there.
It's not necessarily my lead, so I don't start with,
hi, my name is EJ. Are you an atheist?
so that's not necessarily my, that's not my entry point. But it's fair, certain things are fairly early on. They're non-negotiables. I'm not taking a chance of going to jail for you. So your legalities have to be on the up and up. That's a non-negotiable for me. Other people have flexibility. My daddy's not bailing me out. So there are a few of those that are.
But what if they went to jail for protesting?
That's not, so you're not going to get me arrested that way. That's a completely different thing.
That's where I'm coming from in terms of these hard and fast. I don't want to date anyone with a record or what have you. Shoot, they might have been like a Martin Luther King, or Rosa Parks. So let me
give you one then. Let me give you one. If you are on the sex offender list, I don't care why you got there. It's a non-negotiable, okay? And you could have been a person that was visiting a beach and dropped your underwear for 2 seconds, and now you got to be on the sex offender list. But for me, I don't care how you got on it. It's a non-negotiable.
I've been looking through the local list, and your name keeps reappearing on here. Can you explain that? All right. So besides ending up in jail, when else do you know when to call?
That's a great. I stay in relationships way too long. I stay way past the expiration date, and because there's many reasons why. I can try and give two quick ones.
You're a ride or die.
I am.
You are. And the one thing that I have loved about you from the moment that we met is that you truly love people for who they are. You allow people to just be them. You don't try to change people. You don't try to I'm just gonna, if he would just change this and I'm gonna help him do it. I wasn't made up that way. So I admire that about you. And I think that's one of the reasons why you stay longer. And people like me have their roller skates on. and we're too quick to try and, deuce out on people. So I, love your balance.
Thank you. I was in a relationship where someone tried to change me, And I've never was that. Well, that's not true. My ex-husband, if you're listening, I know you're not. Did we lose Matthew? Matthew's like, I'm out.
Right. He's
no,
like, got too personal.
No, he's like, I'm out. Let it go. When I was young, I was like early 20s. Don't get married in early 20s. Sorry. I think it should just be a hard and fast rule. That should be a non-negotiable. Anyway, so
my brother and my sister-in-law are literally on the other side of the wall right here, and they're getting married early 20s.
Are they 20?
Yeah. We need to bring them in.
Get married.
Are they 20?
Thank you, Antoinette. You're a beautiful soul too.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I did that then, and I was like, and I apologized for that, and then I divorced him. But so one reason is I believe once someone says once it's been brought to attention, you know what, that does not make me feel positive or neutral here.
Right.
And they own it, and they are actively working. You get like really good with me once you own your stuff. If you own your stuff and that's something you're actively working, I can ride with you while you're working on it. But for relationships, like your issue, that's the decision I need to make. Mm-hmm. The other thing, and I have aged out of this, thank the Lord, was this fear of being alone. And I said, I'm a relationship girl. I have been in relationships all my life. I've been in relationships all the time. And I had this fear and it's strange that I had this fear of being alone because I've always been in relationships, which is crazy. And I'm not someone that has to be attached to the person I'm dating all the time. I love, you have your stuff, I have my stuff, we have some stuff together. That's how I like to roll. So that's to me, I stay way past the expiration date. My last relationship, Lord Jesus, I should have left 3 years ago. Shoulda, didn't. And
we're not looking at the past. We're looking into the present and future. It'll be all right.
Okay, so I need to do, as the horrible moderator I have been, we still have a couple more segments, so we're going to keep it rolling. Y'all can ride with us, but we're going to keep it rolling because we have a couple more segments to get into there.
I actually have to jump off in like 5 minutes.
You do not. All right, so Mateo, we're gonna get you going with let's get to the next segment. Let's get to
no game.
Huh?
Let's get to no game.
Let's get to no game.
Yeah, I like the no game segment.
Let's do that.
So in not knowing game, not know like KNOW, but no, like let's not play them. Or you don't have any. How about that? Right. So what does a healthy relationship look like? And I know we kind of touched on it earlier, but what do you guys think a healthy relationship looks like?
What do you think, Matthew?
So for me, actually, I got like 10 minutes. For me, I think a healthy relationship has really shifted for me as I got a little older. And I think a healthy relationship is just being transparent and honest and just like, what do I have to hide? And like, why would I even like, honestly, why would I even be playing game right now? Like, I'm looking for like long term, and I'm at the point now where I want to build something. So I think for me, like not having game is just like, as I get older, is trying to have game. Like that's like no game. Like it's like we're over that. What you're still doing this at this point?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
You're 50 and cheating. Who does that?
A lot of people. So like,
yeah, Jesus.
That's kind of where I. And you know, it's weird because I see it too. I like to see it in like women. I see it in like friends. I'm like, what do you? I can see that a million miles away. Like, what are you doing at this point?
Right.
You got like spreadsheets or something. You probably should work on your game.
Spreadsheets.
There's a theme.
So you got honesty in there. You got, some transparency in there. There's not running game at all if we're in a healthy relationship. EJ, what do you think about what healthy relationships look like.
And I think just being honest. I'm sorry. I just don't just be honest and like,
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's also putting, so you said earlier too, Kennedy, it's like putting that person first and not always thinking like, what do I need? Like me, like if you focus on the other person, all those things will come. So
Right.
That's what I've been trying to do lately.
For me, I always know it's a healthy relationship when I lead with us, right? The lead is not, okay, what I need to do and then what you need to do and then how we come together. The starting point is the we. How are we collectively? How are we driving to? How are we going to? And it really goes back to something you said earlier. When you are more concerned with that person's greater good than your own, and you know that they're more concerned about your greater good than theirs, and so you mutually build on that together. That for me, put God first, we're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabriel, I have to disagree. Everyone is guilty of sending a rep. I haven't, in my adulthood, I can't even remember last time I sent a rep. I'm me. I'm the same me I am with my kids, at work, with my friends, and with my dude. I am the same me. I just find it's easier to be. Now, with that said, in a relationship, so there are times I'm not going to shave my legs every day when I'm not around my guy. Not going to do it. Not every day. So that might be a rep. I might not do that. Outside of that, I'm going to be, and I'll tell myself, Lord, I ain't shaved my legs in 2 weeks. Whatever. But I don't do the rep. I just don't do it. I don't want it done to me. I want to be able to cut through all of that and just be who I am. And I think I'm a pretty dope chick. And so, if you don't want the dopeness, that's okay. Not for you.
You are a dope chick.
Thank you.
So when you think, just as we're talking, I was really thinking about, okay, is it game and do you mix up game with swag, right? Do they end up running in parallel? Because you look at someone and you're like, you want someone who has swag, who has just a little bit of the
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that looks like, okay, you got a little game too. You can. So I don't know that the no game is that I don't want you to have any at all, right? Because I need you to be able to recognize it too. Because I do think that someone with no game, it's a whole lot easier, even unconsciously, for you to just automatically try to run game because there's no checkmate.
There is no checkmate. Woo!
I don't know. So my husband has swag. And if I thought he was running game with that swag, we'd have a problem.
I didn't say running game. I said has game.
Has game. I would say yes, Gigi. I think he does. I think he definitely has game that parallels to his swag, and that is a little sexy on him. And so maybe that's that part of every woman that's like the little bad boy, the little, oh, look at you kind of thing that we're attracted to. I don't know. But I think it's like anything else. It's all about how you use it, right? So I was somewhere doing a publication and they were talking about social media and how horrible social media is. And I was like, social media is not horrible. It's horrible if you use it to be a horrible person. So if you take the game, right? Game doesn't always have to be bad. If it's swag, if it's, do game in a positive way. But how you use it is what makes it what it is.
Yeah.
Swag is important.
Swag
Swag is a non-negotiable.
Swag is a non-negotiable. You cannot be a swag.
You gotta have it. You gotta have swag.
I mean, come on now. You can't be no swagless dude.
No, you gotta have swag. Sorry.
You gotta have swag. I'm sorry. And a woman has to be confident. So a man needs to have swag and a woman needs to have confidence. And those two things I think should be on everybody's non-negotiable list. But when we talk about
I was gonna say, I think that's good, because then like if I know that I'm dating a woman, and usually every woman I date is super confident and just super knows herself very well, that keeps me from being lazy too. That keeps me from thinking that like, oh, I'm just good, because I know that she has that, and I know that guys are attracted to that. So that keeps me always wanting to be up here with my swag, so that I keep her constantly interested and fulfilled.
Staying on your toes. Staying
Wow.
on your toes.
That's important. That's important.
Super important because complacency and lazy, right, in the game of love is a no-no. That's on the list of non-negotiables. So earlier when I said, we've been married for a very long time, but we still date. It's very important to me that we still date each other. It's very important that he still brings me flowers for no unnecessary reason, just because that day he saw them and they were beautiful and he thought I should have it, right? Those things are important. We can't get complacent in relationships. We've been together for a really long time. So he could just be like, she ain't going nowhere, but you really don't know that. So it's important to make sure that you aren't complacent in relationships. And that, I think, goes to what healthy relationships look like. I would also say about healthy relationships, if, I'm a woman of God. So for me, a healthy relationship is trying to emulate the relationship that God has for his people in my marriage. Otherwise, what am I married for? Right? Because that is my purpose for having a union, right? Is to glorify God and to love someone the way that God has loved us, his bride, his church that he's going to take as a bride, right? And so if I'm not loving my husband in that way, I'm falling short. And so my goal is to aspire to that every single day. And I cannot become complacent if that's what I'm striving to.
Amen.
So,
yeah.
On that note, you need to have a little game, not no game, just a little game, little bit. So I'm gonna turn it to you, Rob. So what do we do with all this?
So okay. So we always, like we say, this is not just a talk show; it's a talk-do show. And so, again, as I said, we are not relationship experts. We are experts in our own relationships, but we like alliteration as well. So we have a couple of different things, 5 different things that all happen to start with F. So the first one is from a do something is fulfilled. So this is about starting with self first. So it's interesting. Most people get in a relationship saying, oh, 2 halves become a whole, whether you're married or dating. No, boo. You need to be filled and full and right, and not look for satisfaction, and look for somebody else to complement your game, not drag it down, not weight it down, but complement your game. And by I mean game, I mean your swag, your dopeness. And so being satisfied or happy that you're with yourself that's that fulfillment. So self first. The second is fun. So, man, that friendship is so important. I remember my grandfather, when my grandmother was alive, he made the comment of, "Ooh, I got to go get my girl." They've been married for 70 years. I got to go get my girl. He called his wife, his girl. That just to me was everything.
I love it.
He would, bring her gifts. He would just, they did things together, and you have to make sure that fun. That if that's what you did to get her, that's what you got to do to keep her. Don't start nothing you can't finish. How about that?
Say it again for the people in the back.
I said, if that's what you did to get her, that's what you need to do to keep her. And same with us ladies. If that's what you did, if you showed up with your dude and you're doing, you're writing love notes or you're doing whatever, don't start it and then stop it. Keep it rolling. The next is facts, Facts. Facts. So we often we all graduated magna cum laude or summa cum laude from MSU, making stuff up, and we make stuff up. What? Oh, who's he talking to? Or he didn't do this, or he didn't do that. And we make up this whole movie. Most human beings that say we're not creative lie. We all have a creative mind. We let our a whole movie that looks just like that one romantic comedy that wasn't so funny that we saw, and we put him in it and me in it, and suddenly he's doing. Stop. We need to operate in fact. We need to make sure that we're responding, behaving, acting in fact. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. So if you don't know, ask. Open mouths, open mouth. The next one, the fifth one is fidelity. And this is not just the typical way that we talk about cheating, because that sucks. It's really around, so you can be cheating on your partner, your husband, your spouse, whatever, in terms of your time, in terms of finances, in terms of whatever agreements that you guys have made. If you are holding true to those and doing things behind the back, you're not being faithful to your spouse. So fidelity is also another F that we like to talk about. And the last, and Kennedy, this is what you said, is faith. And so there's so many people that get married for the party, and they get married for the knowing that you having all these problems. As soon as you add that person's last name to yours, or you get the rings or the whatever, those problems do not miraculously disappear. They go to bed with you. They wake up with you. They go in the shower with you. They stay with you every day. And one way to make sure that you are having a healthy foundation is make sure your sequence is right. Your sequence starts with faith in Lord, God, spouse, kids. Say it again. God, spouse, kids. If you are living in accordance to him, then you are doing the things necessary to help your relationship thrive. If you are prioritizing your relationship over kids, if mom and dad are happy, the kids benefit from that.
Sure.
I'm not talking about, you ignore the kids and slide their food on the floor. I'm not saying that. But it is, you have to make sure your kids aren't running your home. And I got 2 kids. I don't know if they're on, but yeah. So that's the end of my sermon on the five F's of fulfill.
You know what, Robin?
Fidelity and faith. Yes, sir.
I love the faith part, because that's always been something very strong for me. And getting into this new relationship, straight up, I was like, hey, this is where I stand in my faith. And as a man, I don't move outside of that. Like, this is where my moral compass is, and this is how I'm choosing to live my life. And we every morning, like if I'm over there and we're over there early morning, we have coffee and we'll sit and we'll literally pray and do the Bible app and go through that and run and ask each other questions, and like, how's our relationship, even though it's new, how is that working in, with Christ as like the center of it, starting that off right away. So that's not something I like shock her with down the road.
We like her.
I love it. I always have a rule that if you can't pray for each other and together, you probably shouldn't walk down an aisle.
I love that. I love everything you just said.
What Bible verse is that? That's somewhere in James.
I made
it on the spreadsheet. Put on the spreadsheet. I love that.
The book of Kennedy, chapter 2, verse 37.
Thank you.
So, all right. So that's our do something. And so we always have a last word. Matthew, you are our guest host. Thank you for joining us. Loved having you. We hope to have you.
This was awesome.
But what's the last? Give us the last word, and we've held you past your time. So what's the last word?
Fine. So last word is game can be fun. Like, let's be honest. Like, a game has been fun, and I've done it. And for whatever reason, it made me feel fulfilled in so many ways. But in the end, it turns into a crash and burn. So it always feels kind of like an end game. And I think that people pick up on that. And I think that when for me personally, like when I'm trying to play a game, I realize that, other people tend to get hurt in that. And then that tends to hurt me on the back end as well. So I think if anything tonight, it's not only show up for yourself and like where you stand and how you show up in a relationship, but like show up big for that other person, because it's the more that you step back and that unselfishness, that's what brings love. And that's how you can move in faith and just the beauty of the longevity. And I think that's it, the long game, if anything else.
Ooh, the long game. And on that note, we're going to forgo our second game and declare myself and EJ the victor of that one. So, I'm sorry, I can't hear what they're saying.
You really can run for president.
Nobody said anything about fair game or other game, but guess what? Game over.
Yeah. Boom. So what I will say, so on the 17th of December, we have our last show of the year, and that one is called Tattoo. More to come on that. Tattoo. It's not what you think. All right. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Matthew, for being our special guest. EJ Kennedy, love you lots. And we're out. Roll that.
Oh, and if you're a dude, if you're a man on this, check out @TruthTellersCO on Instagram.
Oh, there you go.
It's the guy version of this. We have great conversations, and we're going to have to do something where we have you three on as well. So,
100%. They ain't ready. They're not ready.
How do they find you, Matthew?
I don't think
How
we
do they
are.
find you? How did the people find you?
I'm on Instagram @Matthew Nadu, Nadu. That's my primary thing I go to. If you find me on Snapchat, then I'm in trouble. But yeah.
Yeah, your Instagram is dope. If you can live vicariously, since we all can't fly anywhere. Awesome.
Love you all.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you,
No,
Matthew.
thank you so
Bye,
much. I appreciate
ladies.
it.
Love
God
you.
Here.